Out here running my first 50-mile race. It's on a trail that land between the lakes near Grand Rivers, Kentucky. And it's only the second trail race I've ever done. My first one was about 4 months ago, a trail marathon in Brandenburg, Kentucky, the Otter Creek Trail Marathon. I'm doing pretty well today, but I just passed 42 miles, only 8 to go, and I've only ever run 41 before this in training a couple weeks ago. So I'm in uncharted territory. And that 41 was indoor on a track. It took me about 9 hours with unlimited food and restroom breaks available quickly. The aid stations here are only 2 to 4 miles apart, so about by the time I run out of whatever I need, there's plenty to restock me, and everybody's been great. Seen no problems logistically from a runner standpoint, and we never see the problems. They always seem to take care of them before we can even see them. Trained on some hills in the Harrison Crawford State Forest in Indiana, near my home in Ramsey, and probably did the best training for this race as I've ever trained for any race. I tried to run at least a marathon every weekend, and tried to make that on trails if it was possible. I did some mental training running when it's 5 or 6 degrees outside and snowing in the dark. Around the track at the Y was a pretty big mental exercise. So I'm doing all right with all that, but it's been a few weeks since I've done some hills, and the hills I've done were only really up to a marathon distance. So this course isn't extremely hilly, but the loop is really divided into 2 sections. The first half is fairly flat, pretty much completely runnable. The second half is completely runnable for me for about 1 lap, but we have to do 4 of these. So I'm walking at the moment. It is pretty hard to walk the downhills at the moment. My quads have never felt like this before. It actually helps to run the downhills instead of walk them. But I'm pretty excited. I've done pretty well on my time today. Trying to give my quads a little break for maybe a mile here. Make one last push to the finish. I'd like to get 10 hours. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that at this point, but I'll definitely be beating 11, and 12 is the cutoff. So on my first 50 miler, I really wanted to just finish, but I did have some time goals in mind, and I knew I could do 11 hours, but I thought I could do 10 hours, and it's turned out to be a pretty good day to get close to 10 hours. Most of the way I've had somebody to run with. The trail runs that are happening today are 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops, and 4 loops. The 4 loops is the 50 miler, and they all started at the same time, so it was pretty crowded on the first lap, especially since I chose to start at the very, very back. There might have been 1 or 2 people across the start line after me, but they run the first couple miles on a road coming out of Grand Rivers into the park, because there's so many runners in all 4 races together. They have to give everybody time to spread out before they hit the trail, because most of the trail is single track. Really, 1 person can comfortably run at a time. There are places where 2 can comfortably run side by side, not many. And so we just have to share the trail. Everybody's been pretty courteous about all of that. Haven't seen any major disasters today. Saw 1 lady fall, but she got back up. She was all right. Haven't seen anybody struggling extremely bad, probably because there's nobody around at the moment. But I've mostly been running with this guy from Michigan for the past couple hours, leapfrogging over him, and then he would leapfrog back over me. And really I've mostly just pulled away because I can still run the downhills. And he's doing a lot of walking, I think. But he's probably not too far back there. Pretty nice guy. It's his first 50 mile or two. Said he's really not got anywhere to train on hills in Michigan. So he's hurting pretty bad. It's been a great day, weather-wise. Camped out in my van last night near the start and finish, and a pretty peaceful night. Really only got down barely into the 40s, so it wasn't too cold. And woke up there this morning ready to go. It's probably 47 degrees at the start line. Hasn't rained at all today. Past few weeks we've seen some record floods though, and so most of the course that comes really close to the lakes was flooded and has just receded back down into where it needs to be for us to run the course. Hey guys. So there's a couple places where it's still pretty muddy, and there are two places where they gave us an option to run around. Pretty significant ponding on the trail, but probably not a foot deep in those places. I actually had thought I might run through one of them on this last lap on purpose, just to kind of reinvigorate me, but decided not to do that. I have my spearmint gum, which actually does pretty well at just waking me up. Just tired, like I want a nap. I mean, my body is tired, and my mind is pretty fresh still. But just tired from the pounding isn't really as tiring as I just want to take a nap right now. So I've trained pretty well for this. I was trained well enough to do that marathon up to my expectations back in December, and this is March 10th, and I've been training pretty well the whole time. Never really missed a long run. I did some speed work, tried to do a speed work at least once a week, and I tried to do some nice recovery days to make sure I stay fresh. But this year I've actually also done at least 1 mile every day, and that's my goal. That's one of my goals for the year, is to do a mile every day. And right about New Year's, I found this 50 miler and another one in Tennessee that I also signed up for almost 2 months from today. It'll be in May. And then I've got a 100 miler, my first 100, scheduled for December, first weekend in December, at Rough River in Kentucky. It's another loop course. So pretty excited about goals for the year, and pretty well on track with all of those. But I'm gonna get back to running, see if I can get that 10 hour mark. It might be pretty close, but I thought I needed a break for my quads, at least for a little while. I'll see if I can get enough out of them to make a push to the finish. See you in a bit. So after the 4 loops, we got to come down this scenic road next to the lake, one of the lakes, I think it's the Kentucky Lake. Out here to this turnaround point. 6/10 out here, 6/10 back to the final aid station. And I made it to the turnaround. So 6/10 back to the final aid station. And then I think it's just a couple miles into the finish. I'm sitting at 37 minutes left to go before 10 hours. So hopefully that means 2.5 miles in 37 minutes. Worst case scenario, maybe 3.5 miles in 37 minutes. 10 minutes a mile. Should be able to do that if I can keep jogging. See you in a bit. Coming back on the turnaround still, headed towards that final aid station. Not sure if you can tell, but way up there in the distance, near that porta potty, there's a lady up there in front of me, and it's been interesting. I've known this, but it's really my first experience with this. That once you get up there in distance, it's not so much of a sprint, but it's a marathon. Especially once you hit over 50 miles or so, the women can really compete really well on a perfectly level playing field with the guys. Good job, man. Keep it up. Finish strong. Good job, girls. Perfect example right there. Those two ladies are right behind that guy, and put them side by side. You'd think the guy would smoke them, and that guy is actually the guy that I ran with for a while from Michigan. But it's just been impressive to see. I've not been surprised, but it's really been my first experience with that, so that's been kind of cool. There's this canal here. I think this connects Lake Kentucky on one side and Lake Barkley on the other. Just straight ahead over that ridge is the bridge where we head back to town. So I'm gonna come up here around the bend, hang a left, go over the bridge, and back into town for the finish. See you there. Here we are, coming down the last stretch. Finish line's up there in the distance. It might get a little loud. I don't know if they got music or not, but it's been a great day. A couple things that I think really helped me today were my hamstrings never seized up, really. A couple scary situations where I thought they might, and in my marathons, that's really been a game changer for me, where I got to stop and stretch for 5-10 minutes, and hamstrings were great for the most part, and never had to go to the bathroom. So my training runs, especially my longest one, my 41 mile, I think I stopped and went to the bathroom 3 times, 4 times maybe, and that didn't have to slow me down any for that. I didn't really eat as much as I thought I would. I ate a lot early going in, thinking I just really needed all the calories, a lot of calories, and keep them going in. But after about 10-12 miles already, I couldn't put any more away. I had to switch to pretty much water only for maybe 20 miles. I got some jelly beans at that point, some chips, and some M&Ms some Coke, and then again I couldn't eat anything. So it was spent most of the day on water alone, and that was surprising. But I think that helped keep me out of the bathroom too. So it's been a great day. Appreciate all the volunteers and coordinators putting it on. It's been very well run, and actually my van is right on the other side of this building, so I've only got about 100 feet to walk to get to the van. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Michael Shearer from Cordon, Indiana, in the 50-mile race. He's heading into the chute. Welcome to the finish line, sir.
Thank you. 9:47.
Right behind him is Cliff Jennings from Cincinnati, Ohio, a 60K finisher. Michael, 50-mile time is 9:47:35.
Way to go, man. Awesome job.
Thank you, guys.
Cliff,
Appreciate it. Thank you for all.
9:47:46.
Thank you.
That's a tough score.
Whew. Little party. This lady was in the kilt division.
Jeff Jackson from Ann Arbor, Michigan, in a 50-mile race coming into the chute. Welcome to the finish line, sir. That's a 9:49:10, 9:48:10.
I think I saw 3 people with kilts out there today. One dude had a Woodstock shirt on. I guess they have races up there. 100 mile, 100K, 50 mile, 50K, marathon. He was all in purple with a purple plaid.
All right, Greg Martin from Owensboro, Kentucky,
Kilt on.
60K.
Pretty
Nice
funny.
finish, sir. That's a 9:48:38.
Pretty cool little town. I think the population is like 350 people, and there's more than that run this race. So population of the town doubles for one day at least every year. Pretty popular tourist destination too. But again, great day. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support too.